Welcome to This Week Health. My name is Bill Russell. I'm a former CIO for a 16 hospital system and creator of This Week Health, a set of channels dedicated to keeping health IT staff current and engaged. Today we have an interview in action from the 2023 spring conferences, ViVE in Nashville and HIMSS in Chicago. Special thanks to our partners, CDW, Rubrik, Sectra, and Trellix for choosing to invest in our mission to develop the next generation of health leaders. You can check them out on our website, thisweekhealth.com. Now, on to this interview. All right, here we are at another interview in action from the ViVE conference, and we are joined by Josh Peacock with CDW Healthcare. We no longer say Sirius Healthcare.
It's true.
That's phenomenal.
Fully integrated.
CDW Healthcare, fully integrated. That's awesome. And Todd Larson with HonorHealth. We're going to talk about command centers. And I'm looking forward to this conversation. Todd, I'm going to have you set this up.
Sure.
Talk about some of the work that you guys have been doing.
Yeah, approximately 4 years ago, we wrote a business plan and started down the road of creating, at the time, was a network operations center, primarily focused on emergency management, security, cameras, dispatch, answering the phones, all of that stuff. Traditional, because we were separated amongst 4 separate campuses. Let's combine, let's be efficient. And really that put us on a journey where we have pivoted and course corrected, and we're really on a complete journey to have a fully integrated clinical command and care center. We have already moved in our internal transport. We moved in internal and external or among facility transfer, all of our transfer centers, bed control, float pool, staffing, as well as a lot of our community partner work with EMS, ambulance, all of that. And in the next 10, 11 weeks, we'll begin building telemetry, centralized telemetry, and adding in behavioral sitters, as well as remote nursing and those programs. So down the road, we look to continue to expand, but we've already moved those groups in as of this day.
I'm thoroughly impressed with the operational work that has been done. I'm going to talk about technology, but I realize the operational work is a huge lift to get that to work. But Josh, I want to come to you and talk about the technology a little bit. So give me an idea. Somebody's playing some music behind us. I don't know what that is. But give me an idea of what we're talking about from a technology, because you're talking about a lot of different operational items there. Probably a lot of different technologies, a lot of different data streams, a lot of integration.
Yeah, so the data is obviously going to be key to it, but I think part of our experience, what we're trying to do with Honor on the partnership, is the fact to understand just what do we need to do with the tools that they already have, because we're trying to not bring more technology to the table initially, but to rather learn what they're doing, use the Epics of the world and the other tools that they already have, bubble that information up into something that's usable. So we don't really expect a ton of technology investment out of the gate for organizations to get started with it.
That is music to healthcare systems' ears. So you're utilizing the stuff that's already there.
Absolutely.
As much as possible.
That's first and foremost.
Talk about the operational lift. This is one of the things that we're starting to talk a lot about efficiencies, and we're talking a lot about care, I don't want to say coordination, care orchestration,
yes,
if you will.
I like that word.
And it sounds like that you guys are looking at the care experience from one end to the other.
Yes, so how is it that you can have that care experience start maybe even prior to coming to the hospital or an acute center, and then taking all of those operations together so that they're all in the same physical location. And I think as we continue to expand, it might not be every role and every employee from that, but at least a leader or the tip of the spear or someone that's sort of in charge of that essence coming into that space, working together.
What does the process look like?
So the process was a heavy lift, as you brought up. You think about a healthcare system, mid-sized healthcare system as HonorHealth is, and you have 6 different hospitals, and they're used to doing things different ways. So even code management and response and standardization, we put together a standardization committee to focus on how we're going to be efficient by doing the same things at each location. And then what we love about it, as Josh brought up, is I began the business plan with the theory that I'm not going to buy an out-of-the-box solution, because we don't know what that is until we've moved operations in. We're functioning right now. So when we come together, how can we function better with what we already have, and then take those tools or those technologies that we need and implement them after we're in. So I would call us course correcting, pivoting, moving, iterative process that we're under all the time.
I love that. You don't start with the technology, you bring it all together.
you see what it looks like, and then you evaluate the technology, which makes a lot of sense.
So we're seeing a lot of organizations that maybe are in the beginning stages of exploring this, and so we're seeing from our perspective that we can learn alongside HonorHealth and then take that to a single hospital system, another 5-6 bed hospital, or the really large ones with massive geographies, and how does that translate across that different capacities?
Yeah, and I wanted to talk to you. I love CDW's approach here because you have, I'm going to call them centers of excellence. So you set up these labs,
Yep.
which are centers of excellence. Southern California, have Arizona, Intermountain as well. And so if people are hearing this and they're saying, hey, that's really interesting, there's a way for them to experience it and see it.
Yes, yep, absolutely. They can work with us to come visit HonorHealth or one of the other ones, or we can come to them and explain what we're doing and how we're trying to approach it.
So if I were to set that up, what would that look like? Am I just coming in for a day? And who do I bring? I mean, who's the right...
Yeah. So I think it's important to bring maybe two separate groups. So certainly senior leadership that's interested in an organization, because there's obviously a funding lift. You need a location, you need a physical building, you need that type of stuff. So somebody of that nature is certainly important. But what's really key is the people doing the roles that you're thinking about integrating into a clinical command center. Bring those people. One of the things we did with our center at HonorHealth is our goal is to be, for lack of a better term, a model home, a showcase. We want to share. We want organizations to come in and see what we're doing, because in the end, this is helping the patient. When we look at something really as simple as patient transport, internal hospital patient transport, we took one hospital, 400 bed plus hospital, and we, just from moving nursing and clinical operations into the command center, we've taken the average queue of 12, just at one hospital, down to a queue of 0. So what it's doing in one hospital, in one role, in one job, now take that across the organization. So I think the ultimate way to look at it is you need leadership to support it. Is it the right culture? Is it the right place to do it? But really you need to bring in the people that are doing all of those roles that you think you could bring together in a clinical command. Because we'd love to brainstorm with you. We'd love to share what we're doing. We'd love to expand this nationally, because I think in the time of shrinking healthcare employment buckets, it's hard to find people. Let's bring the joy of healthcare back. Let's get it efficient and make it so that the staff that are caring for patients can really care for patients, and we can be sort of that air traffic control.
All right, we'll get back to the show in just a minute. If you've been with us for any period of time, this year we've partnered with Alex's Lemonade Stand to raise money for cures for childhood cancer, and we are so excited. We set a goal to raise $50,000, and we're already up over $27,000, or $26,700 for the year. So we're close to $27,000. I'm rounding up. We went to the ViVE conference, and with your help and the help of just an amazing community, generous community, and our partners as well, we were able to raise $16,500. So thank you all for your generosity. We're going to do it again. As you know, we did Captain's Cures for Childhood Cancer at the ViVE conference, and anyone who got their picture taken with Captain, who was facing the camera, we gave $1 to Alex's Lemonade Stand. We're heading to HIMSS and bringing Captain again, and we're going to do the same thing. As you know, Captain is my producer's service dog. He'll be roaming the floor. If you see Captain, stop us. We would love to have your picture taken, and we would love to have you participate in this campaign. We really appreciate our partners who help to make this possible. For this one, so far we have Rubric. So we still have a couple of spots. If you want to participate, if you want your company to participate, let them know that they can participate in this, and we will give you the details. You can shoot us a note at partner@thisweekhealth.com. It's real simple. If you're on the floor, you see Captain, get your picture taken. Anyone facing the camera, go ahead and post it to social media, Twitter or LinkedIn, tag This Week Health. That's how we do the counting. And again, $16,500 at ViVE. I think we can do it again at the HIMSS conference and really make a dent in our goal to get to $50,000 for childhood cancer. It's going to be exciting. We appreciate our partners who stepped up during the ViVE conference, and obviously we appreciate Rubric being our first partner to step up for the HIMSS event. So look forward to seeing you at HIMSS. Now, back to the show.
Well, you talked about executive buy-in, executive sponsorship. Who are the best champions once you start moving into the operational project?
Yeah, so I have found two primary things. Number one, obviously nursing. I mean, it is the backbone of healthcare, and if you can make the role and the day-to-day life better for nurses on the floor, then they'll champion whatever cause that is, right? So for our project, nursing has been key, as well as getting involved the proper leadership that has the approval to make changes, to support you, because as I said, you're going to be changing operational procedures. You're going to be changing or maybe modifying the way you're doing certain things. So do you have that culture? Do you have that culture that's willing to understand and go through a little bit of pain to get there? Because you're melding all of your locations into a common, or what I would call, unity of command, and having that. So get your nursing, get your clinicians, but then on the operations side, make sure that you have leadership that is supporting what you're doing on that culture change.
It's amazing. So help me understand, like, your role. So you guys seem to be working together on this. What's your role? What does CDW do to come alongside?
Yeah, so CDW, we're helping build out some of the future of what they're going to be doing at the new facility that they have. We're going to embed some people alongside of them so that we can learn to be able to translate and take out elsewhere. And then I think we're cross-pollinating some of the stuff we're doing with the other labs. So as we shift and do more at-home items, some of the other sites are actually focused on that more. But again, all of that has to be fed up into the care coordination or orchestration center so that can be orchestrated across the continuum of care.
What I like about this, I think over time, you're going to end up with layered benefits, right? So as you keep bringing things in, you're going to have a pool of data, I think, that you're going to be able to work from, and you're going to see efficiencies that maybe you didn't see before. They're just going to rise to the top.
Yeah, and we've experienced some of that, as Josh brought up, with that real-time data. How do you take data maybe eventually maybe hourly, right? Hourly, how do you interpret that data? How do you move that through? That's really hard to do if you're in an operational job and you're performing during the day. But if you have a partner and that partner has aggregate data and they can look at that and then you can model and say, wow, this is working over at HonorHealth and it's also working with one of our other labs and it's working, and you can aggregate that data really quickly without having to sit there and crunch those numbers every day. You have this, what I call force multiplication that's happening from all this.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I want to thank you guys for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bill.
Another great interview. I want to thank everybody who's spent time with us at the conference. I love hearing from people on the front lines, and it's phenomenal that they've taken the time to share their wisdom and experience with the community. It is greatly appreciated. We want to thank our partners, CDW, Rubric, Sectra, and Trellix, who invest in our mission to develop the next generation of health leaders. Thanks for listening. That's all for now.